I want to share a story, and I hope I get it right so I don't have to do it over and over and over again. But anyway, I just felt called to come here and share a story about rocks and boulders and ledges. Yesterday, in the Magic of Scent Zoom circle, we talked about boulders and rocks. And it started out with me mentioning something about creating a fragrance and how would that be represented. And then we shared some stories. And one of the stories that I shared was about a glacial erratic that was on the property of the Gaia Center, which was the land based project in Worthington, Mass., that my organization Catalyst had back in the late 1980s. And when you would go down back, you would take a left or a right, or you'd cross the brook. If you took a left down a ways, there would be a glacial erratic that was just off the path. And the first time I discovered this boulder, it was easy to get onto the top of, and I did. And there was a perfect depression there to sit. And I sat there, and it was so comfortable, which is strange because it was a rock. Um, and I felt so peaceful and so, I don't know, calm. And I went back. And what was really interesting is that glacial erratic called to people who would visit. Um, some people knew that it was down there, others just discovered it like I did for the first time. There were a couple of stories of people who even got up on it like I did and fell asleep. And they would come back and share because it made an impact. um, and that reminded me of this morning of my place, my home place, some of those places that when I grew up, I would always go to. All of us did too. Go to Lower Falls on the Kank and Diana's Bath. All are places that are water, obviously, but also um, granite, boulders, ledges that have been smoothed over eons by glaciers and water, and the that's part of their appeal. Not just the water, not just the beauty, but the energy of the foundation there. Um, so the sessions are recorded and they were sent to everyone, including a couple of women who couldn't be there. And one of them left a message in my messenger this morning about how in Peruvian culture, and I know nothing about this, but this is just what she said, that healers send their energy into their dense energy into earth for healing, and boulders and rocks love it too. And that what these boulders, these big rocks, these ledges do is they love, and this was, which implies that there's this reciprocity going on here, right? Part of this whole conversation started when we were talking about how everything is alive, even what most people think of as, dead, inert objects like rocks and boulders. And so anyway, they love doing this because and we love it when it happens, and it's a gift that is mutual that we give each other, and it's awesome that and I, that that there's this awareness that exists, even if it doesn't exist in most places. It's still there. And so that brought me back this morning to, I remember I used to, well, I still do, but I would drive to visit my friends and family in New Hampshire from Vermont. I was living in Vermont at the time. And it's such a tourist area now. And the places that I hung out at that I mentioned earlier, and so many others, are just like tourist traps. And, it's impossible to go there without having so many people, not just a few. And I was not really wonderful about that. I grew up there, I've seen a lot, but at the same time, I love the place and I understand the pull of it. And anyway, I wanted to hang out at Lower Falls, and there were just too many people. I couldn't bring myself to do it. And one of the days that I was there, when I was home, it was misty and gray. It wasn't a downpour day, but it was not like those picture perfect days. And I thought, oh, there probably aren't too many people there, so I will go there today. So I did. And I stood in my place and I looked around and I saw all of the footprints of all of the people who had been there the day before, in the sand that accumulates in between the rocks and the boulders and the ledges as the swift river flows and sometimes roars through. And I was kind of apologizing for the overuse, for the burden, for the heaviness of all the humans just sucking. It just felt to me. And I was really surprised at what I was given in response. I was told that just as I need to be there and experience the love and the energy exchange and the grounding and the memories, the DNA connection that I have there, it doesn't make it mine. I have no ownership of it. And I was told this in the nicest of ways. And I was also told that, yes, what I'm feeling is valid. At the same time, well, the majority of people who converge there during the perfect days and the tourist season and when it's easily accessible, they're there for the photo op, for the what is, I don't know, whatever it is, of energy of being in a beautiful place, which you feel, regardless, you can't help but experience some feeling of awe, no matter where you go there. But in any case, I was told that while most people are really there on that surface level, there are always a small percentage of people who are touched, who have the experience of the mutuality of the relationship. And they feel it there for the first time. And in my own experience, and I know that I'm feeling very emotional about this right now, in my own experience, that means it's real. And once you have that experience, you never forget it, and you are changed. You are on a different timeline. And I was told that every single person that happens to is important. And I needed to wrap my mind around it. And so it was really helpful. So I'm sharing those stories and the information that I hope you take away is that these glacial erratics and ledges and big rocks want us, literally, want us to come to them and be with them and experience them. And it's something that they need too, because they still need energy, even though they are so, so slow and so, so deep.